And good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel. You're listening to the book of Ephesians and its mysteries with the Legacy of Daniel podcast. On this podcast, on the show, I am today going to speak on enlightenment, and particularly the verse 118 in the book of Ephesians. And I just kind of had a bit of a spontaneous thought as I was listening to some of my old podcasts, trying to come up with something kind of motivational, some wisdom, some thought, something that can kind of get my listeners to think a bit more on their walk, on their journey, and how they can grow up into Christ more, build a stronger habitation for themselves and others, partake in society more, find the courage they need to be a true soldier of their destiny and of Christ, the true Christ. And so, book in Ephesians 1:18, Paul speaks of the eyes of understanding, and that is quite a unique, unique phrase right there. And to begin what that means is quite. Is this like thinking of what eternity could be? I mean, looking into the souls of looking to the eyes of another human being is like looking into a soul. You're like looking into another eternal universe. That's kind of what the eyes of understanding kind of brings to my mind when I hear Paul speak on something like that. And to be led into more enlightenment through understanding and using our eyes to kind of observe the world is quite something that can be really, it could be uplifting in many ways. It can also be quite of a daunting task to kind of start being presented with wisdom, knowledge, understanding that quite literally comes from an eternal realm, and coming to better understand the mystical kingdom that Paul is often speaking of and referring to is kind of what we come to see with our eyes of understanding and being led into a more enlightened state. So kind of how do we come into this more enlightened state through the eyes of understanding? Well, I think it's something that we don't really do. It's something that just kind of grows upon us, something that we have to accept, and we truly have to accept the fact that there is really nothing that we can do. I do believe that all has kind of been done, but that doesn't mean our destiny is already predetermined. We can take control of our destiny. We can fight for our destiny, and that is what enlightenment it does. We kind of have to fight for it, and we fight for it by fighting against the white horse of self-righteousness, by not going out and using our sword to kind of clear a path that doesn't need to be cleared, to just kind of solve problems or bring ideas that aren't needed, problems that aren't really problems that don't need to be solved. And so enlightenment has a lot to do with humility and taking a step back, making sure we're not galloping on that white horse, making sure that we are seeing the serpent in not just our habitation, but the habitations around us, and going to war against those serpents, and making sure that we are being strong for others around us. And when we are strong for others around us, and we see others grow and mature and come into their stages of enlightenment through the eyes of understanding, we too then can thus begin to grow with them, and we kind of grow together as their holy temple up into Christ, the true Christ. And so when it comes to enlightenment, take a step back, allow the enlightenment, allow the enriching blessings that Christ provides in heavenly place to kind of fall upon you and to bring you in a state of peace and comfort, knowing that all the work has been done. What you need to focus on is really fighting for your humility, fighting for this enlightenment to take place in a way that doesn't bring you up onto that white horse of self-righteousness. It doesn't bring you into a state of overexcitement or hyperactivity. Doesn't bring you into a state of this need for success immediately, but understanding that success takes a long time. This enlightenment is takes a long time. Growing up into Christ and building a holy temple takes a lifetime, and the success that comes from it can take a while. And you have to be willing to see the success in others, the enlightenment coming to others first, before you can sometimes see yourself. And that is where the true enlightenment will really begin to shine in you and shine forth from you, and will really bring you to understand the scriptures, the book of Ephesians, understand Paul differently, begin to see the mystical kingdom. When you take a step back, allow the enriching beauty of the blessings that are provided from heavenly places just kind of work through you, strengthen your habitation, grow up into a holy temple in the Lord. And when you do that, you begin to really take a step back more, and you grow. You take care of yourself, your holy temple. You nurture your habitation. And when you do that, you really begin to see the working of these blessings of Christ in your life and around you. So really take a step back. Use the eyes of your understanding to see the world around you, to see your habitation, to strengthen others, and begin to see the really true power of enlightenment come into your life when you work hard to really step off that white horse of self-righteousness, when you work hard to really fight against the need for immediate success, when you work hard to fight against this idea that there needs to be always a problem solver, or that just by being present in a situation, things will get better. There needs to be edifying language, edifying behavior. There needs to be communication, solid communication, edifying communication that will strengthen not just your temple, but all the temples around you. Strengthen those habitations. And when you do that, as I said, you can take a step back, and enlightenment will begin to flourish upon you, through your words, your daily living. So that is my speech for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found this edifying.